Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm back in World of Tanks, and after 30 days of playing Tier 6, Tier 8, and Tier 10 tanks in Clan Wars, the third Clan Wars campaign is finally over. And 17 people in the clan Razers of Hell, which I am in, got the Tier 10 reward tank of their choice. I was lucky enough to be one of those 17, and I went with the M60. Now, before I say anything else, I'd just like to thank everybody in the clan who showed up to participate in the special battles, and especially the people who showed up that knew they wouldn't end up getting the tanks because they wouldn't be able to commit enough time to the campaign. And even knowing that, they still volunteered their time and made it possible for the 17 of us to get the tank. Which, it was really, really nice of them to do that. We were close on some nights to being short on people, and it really made the difference, I think. This whole third campaign, though, was a really big learning experience for me, as someone who hadn't really dabbled too much in Clan Wars before. I joined Raze a few weeks before the campaign started, and was able to participate in a handful of Clan Wars battles at Tier 10. And before I joined the clan, I hadn't done any sort of organized play before, so initially I felt almost like a fish out of water, because I'm just used to pubs. I'm used to doing all the thinking for myself and not being directed around, more or less. But I think during those 30 days, we learned a lot about each other. And as the campaign progressed, we started to play better and better and more consistently. We went from trying to learn the meta at Tier 6 and kind of failing pretty bad the first few days, to Tier 8s, where we definitely did pretty well, and then onto Tier 10, where we actually held land for a little while. During that time, some people got mad, and we even got stream sniped once in a Tier 8 turtle on Lakeville. But I think the good by far outweighed the bad, and in general, everybody was just happy and relaxed, almost carefree most of the time, which I really appreciated. It's really nice to be able to get along and mesh well with people in that kind of competitive setting, and I think that was one of the most important parts. I mean, there was some things we could have done better. We definitely didn't play perfectly all the time, and we lost some fights that we should have won. I'm not blaming anybody. I mean, I certainly made my fair share of mistakes, and it's only natural to screw up sometimes. But I think as long as you're able to look back at those mistakes and realize what you did wrong and how to do better next time, there's some small victory even in that. I mean, that's really how you improve. You try to study each mistake you make, and then not ever do it again, if at all possible. But anyways, I think that's about all I have to say about the campaign itself. Now, you might be wondering why I went with the M60 over the Object 907, or the VK. Well, I already have an E100, and the VK did not look appealing at all. Basically, I just wanted a medium tank, so that narrowed it down to the M60 or the Object 907, and I was on the fence between those tanks for quite a while. Like, I realized that the Object 907 is the better of the two tanks. I never argued that fact. But I was planning already on going down the Object 140 line, and I'm on the T44 right now. So I'll be getting the Object 140 eventually, and that's going to be enough Russian medium for me. I don't need a second one, and I'll already have a decent crew in it by the time I get it. But something I never really planned to do was go down the American medium tank line past tier 9, because I wasn't really interested in the M48. So by getting the M60, I can go down the American medium tank line if I want, and stop at tier 9 with the M46 pattern, and still have a tier 10, more or less in that tier tree, whatever you want to call it. And the M60 is a marginally better M48 pattern, in my opinion. The gun handling is better, the hull armor is worse, but then again, the hull armor on the M48 was never really anything to write home about. I certainly have never bounced off the hull of a M48. And the M60 is a bit faster. And when I say the gun handling on the M60 is better, the firing on the move, oh my god. Like, I thought the Leopard 1 had good accuracy on the move, but this tank just blows it out of the water. You can hit so many shots at range when you're just firing on the move. And it's even a fairly accurate gun when you're stationary as well. It has a base of 0.35 dispersion at 100 meters compared to the M46's 0.36. And running vents and cola on the tank, I believe the dispersion goes down to 0.31 or so. So you can really snipe at range with this tank if you want to. Or if you have to, you can get up close and brawl, although I wouldn't recommend doing it against Russian mediums, as they tend to just tear everything apart at close range. Also, I wouldn't go up against an STB. It'll just out DPM you, and you cry. And actually, the M60 is kind of like the T110 E5, in my opinion, in that it can fill a lot of roles and do okay in them, but it isn't really a master of any one of those roles, like the Leopard or E50 are at long-range sniping, or like the Object 430 is at close-range brawling with its armor and DPM. So you're kind of left with the M60 being sort of like a mid-range support tank most of the time, which it can do quite well. After winning the hill here on Malinovka, I'm able to put my decent mid-range accuracy to work, shooting down at all the enemy tanks that my team have been spotting. Although, I say decent mid-range accuracy and you're about to see so many shots miss here, it's kind of sad. Side of the M103 turret, and it kind of looked like it actually hit, but it didn't seem to register for some reason. Maybe it was a ghost shell, who knows. And it's too bad those first few shots I fired at the M103 either missed or failed to register, because, spoiler alert, I would have gotten a Pools medal if I had killed the M103. So sad, I cry every time. But this M48 is about to go down and spot their Walker Bulldog. Fire on the move at 461 meters. Hit him like it's no problem, and then blind fire him before he can escape. And their Artie is about to be spotted. And this is no regular Conqueror GC. That one was driven by one of the Wargaming's Hunt the Pros things. It's basically what the Sheriff account used to be back in the day. Only now, instead of being called Sheriffs and having a red camo on their tank, they're the Hunt the Pros, and they have a gold striped camo. But they still give out 250 gold for killing them. And they seem to actually drive artillery quite a lot, which is interesting. Either artillery or VK4502Bs. Maybe because puppies don't know how to penetrate them frontally, I don't know. Well, that just about does it for my first video of the M60. I'm sure I'll be posting more games of it, as I've been playing it quite a lot, and I really enjoy it. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe I'll catch you next time. Until then, happy hunting.